So now we're on to shape number 4 of the E natural minor scale, and we are basing this shape around shape number 4 of the E minor pentatonic scale. These scales share the same root notes and are performed in the same position. And once again, if you see the two scales superimposed over one another, you will see that they both share a very similar DNA. There is only a 2-note difference between these scales. And it's a great way of seeing how you can include these additional notes to your minor pentatonic to transform it from the minor pentatonic to the natural minor scale. As well as that, this shape also shares root notes and its position with the E minor chord played with an A minor bar shape, or the movable A power chord shape played off of the 7th fret. Okay, so it's once again, we're really starting to see areas of the neck where we can play a chord, a pentatonic scale, and the minor scale. Let's take a look at the shape. We're going to start off on the 7th fret of the A, onto the D string, and then conclude on the G string. The root notes are located on the 7th fret of the A string and on the 9th fret of the G. Now, once again, when we play this scale, we shouldn't be restricted to a 1-octave shape. When we get to that high root note, we can continue on through notes from the E natural minor scale within that position. We can get as far as the 10th fret of the top E in that position. And the same thing applies when we descend. We can get to that low root note on the 7th fret of the A string, but then we can continue down even lower, playing notes on the low E string that are also found in the E natural minor scale. So what that results in is that entire position. You can play the E natural minor scale on all 6 strings with the root note on the 7th fret of the A and also on the 9th fret of the G. Okay, so now I'm going to play through that scale for you. I'm going to start from the lowest root note. I'm going to play all the way up past the highest root note to the highest note within that position, descend all the way down past the lowest root note to the lowest note in that position, and then back up to resolve to the E root note on the 7th fret of the A, just to reaffirm and underpin the tonal center of E minor by finishing up on the E root note. So now I'm going to play that through for you with the click. So why is this important? Well, once again, we have now completed another position, enabling us to play the E natural minor scale with the root note on the 7th fret, but covering all 6 strings in that position. Now, also another really cool thing about this is the fact that we have the root note on the 7th fret of the A string. And when you think about the previous shape, shape number 3, that also had its root note on the 7th fret of the A string. So once again, we can see how these scales interlink with one another. So if we include that now with the other scales that we have been learning, you can play from the open position all the way up to the 10th fret and play notes from the E natural minor scale. This is a really cool technique and a great way of you really unlocking the neck. Okay, so now it's your turn to practice through shape number 4 of the E natural minor scale.